Kính thưa quý vị khán thính giả của chương trình Phố Bosa TV. Hôm nay là ngày 11 tây tháng 8 năm 2016, một ngày sau khi kết thúc phiên tòa của diễn viên hài Minh Béo. Ngày hôm nay chúng tôi có buổi nói chuyện với hai vị khách, ông Ngô Kỷ và ông Tony Rackauckas là Chánh Biện Lý quận Cam. Xin chào hai vị.
Good morning. It's a real pleasure to be here with you to do this show. Thank you.
Chào anh Ngô Kỷ, kính chào quý khán giả của Phố Bosa TV. Chào
ông Ngô Kỷ, ông có thể cho biết là vì sao ông có cái quan tâm và mong muốn đưa ông Tony Rackauckas tới nói chuyện với mọi người từ ngay lần đầu cũng như là lần này trên chương trình Phố Bosa TV, thưa ông?
Vâng, kính thưa quý khán giả, kính thưa Vũ Hoàng Lân. Tôi có cơ hội tới hôm nay. Tôi tới với ông rất là nhiều lần với cộng đồng, đặc biệt trong thời gian diễn viên hài Minh Béo bị truy tố ra tòa. Xin lỗi. Lý do mà tôi thường đi với ông trong thời gian này, tại vì ông ta là một người chánh biện lý, bạn của tôi. Suốt từ 41-42 năm này, từ năm 1975 ông ta vào Cam Tony, ông ta đã bảo lãnh cho gia đình người thân tôi ra sống tại Mỹ. Do đó chúng tôi quen nhau 40 mấy năm và tôi rất là thân tình và tôi biết cái việc làm ông ta rất là đàng hoàng, chính đáng. Nhưng trong cộng đồng, ngay cả Việt Nam, có những tin thất thiệt, vu oan ông, cho rằng ông ta chụp mũ ông diễn viên hài Minh Béo, hay là vu oan giá họa, hay là có những cái mưu đồ chính trị, do đó làm lớn cái chuyện này. Đặc biệt cái chuyện mà ông tan cái tiền tại ngồi hậu tra lên tới 1 triệu đồng. Chính vì mà muốn làm sáng tỏ và muốn cho ông bảo vệ cái danh dự ông, do đó tôi đưa ông tới cộng đồng để mà ông ta có thể giải thích, làm sáng tỏ. Và cái kết quả ngày hôm qua, ông diễn viên Minh Béo đã nhận tội, như vậy đã chứng tỏ là những việc làm mà ông là chính đáng, và ông là người lãnh đạo công tố chánh biện lý, do đó ông ta chịu trách nhiệm hoàn toàn cái chuyện này, thưa anh.
Xin cảm ơn ông Ngô Kỷ. First, about the agreement between the lawyer and your office. Can you tell us that agreement originated from your office or from the lawyer, which come down to 18-month sentence?
Oh, we never originate those offers. What we do from my office is we file the charges and then we start preparing for trial, and so then the defense will oftentimes, well, most of the time, the defense will look at it. They'll look at the evidence and make a decision as to whether they want to go to trial and try to be found not guilty or try to work something out. And so the defense raised that, and they didn't start out by asking for 18 months, but we, after some discussions and our discussing it, we basically said, well, we would not be able to accept less than a state prison sentence, and the minimum prison sentence here is 18 months. And given his conduct and all the things that happened, that's appropriate under the circumstances, so we agreed to it.
If 18 months wasn't originally requested by the lawyer side, what was it?
Oh, you know what? It would really not be fair to discuss the all of the circumstances of the coming to reach an agreement, because we like to encourage counsel to talk to us, to reach these kinds of agreements. So I think I just tell you that in general, attorneys don't usually come to the district attorney and say, I'd like to send my client to prison. Usually it starts with something quite different than that, like, would you please dismiss this case? So so there's a lot of discussion. There's a lot of discussion in between.
The third charge were dismissed. Was this only because part of the deal, or any other reason why it got discharged?
Well, it's part of the agreement that he would plead to the 2 charges, but that charge would not bring any additional punishment. So if we went to trial and he was convicted of all 3 counts, there wouldn't be any additional punishment on the 3rd count. So when we're preparing for trial, we usually file all the charges that we can, so that as we go to trial, a jury might find somebody not guilty of one but guilty of another. So we put it all in there, but it wouldn't bring any additional punishment. So it was appropriate to dismiss the third count.
Some people from our audience have the concern that the 18-month sentence is too light. How is it compared to the other similar cases?
I think it's a fair sentence. I think that under the circumstances here, the kind of things that we consider are there wasn't any force. There wasn't a gun. There wasn't nobody got beat up. Nobody got physically injured. It was this was done more by trickery and alluring, kind of getting him into a small room and kind of luring him into this situation. So under the circumstances, it's pretty fair. I think that that's pretty much what another person would get for that same conduct if he was not if it wasn't Minh Béo. If it was just somebody else off the street, that's about right.
So the fact that he is a celebrity or he is a Vietnamese from Vietnam doesn't affect the sentence?
No, that doesn't play a part in the sentence. Our thinking, what we think is, in our professional judgment, if he went to trial and if he's convicted, and the judge considers all of the aggravating circumstances and all of the circumstances that tend to be in his favor, what would he get? And we think that it'd be around that sentence, around 18 months.
I have learned that some people will not be serving the whole sentence. In this case, Mr. Hong will stay behind the bar for the whole 18 months, or he will be released earlier than that, and what factor will get to it?
When somebody gets a state prison sentence under state law, they are entitled to get credits for time that they work and for time that they're good. It's referred to as work time and good time. So they get time off for that, to give them an incentive or to encourage them to be good and to do the things that they're supposed to do when they're in custody. So you can get as much as half the time off by being good and by doing the things that you're told to do, good time and work time. So for an 18-month sentence, if you do all of the things, if you behave, you do all the things that you're supposed to do, you can get 9 months off.
You mean up to half of the time?
Up to half of the time.
Why the sentencing is set on December 16? Is it indicate any time that he will be released right there?
Well, he wants to do as much time as he can in the county jail and not in the state prison. I think he wants to do as little time as he can in state prison, because he probably considers state prison to be a more dangerous place. I don't necessarily agree with that. In state prison, they are required to look out for his safety, but there are more serious criminals in state prison. And so if he does more time in the county jail, then he'll get credit for all that time. So the more time he does in the county, the less time he does in state prison. So he wants to spend as much time as he can locally in the county.
How the deportation work in this case?
When he finishes his sentence, then what we do is we turn him over. He's turned over to the federal government, and the immigration authorities decide about the deportation. Now, in this case, clearly he'll be deported because he's committed a crime while he was here, and so the rule is you get deported. So that should be done within a short time of him completing his sentence. I imagine he would stay in custody until they determine the deportation.
Regarding the evidence, now that the case will not be going to prelim, then the evidence will never be showing to the public.
Well, that's correct, actually. The victim doesn't have to testify. The defendant has entered a guilty plea. He's admitted all of the facts and circumstances about the crime. So there's not a need to have a hearing.
Now that it's done, can you describe some detail regarding the evidence, especially the one with the text between the defendant and the undercover cop?
Well, I think that it's been described beyond the facts that he's admitted to. Then I don't think it would be appropriate to go through the evidence in any more detail. I mean, I think it's clear that he violated a young boy, and that he attempted to have a meeting with somebody else who he believed was 14 years old, and he said in the conversations that he had with the undercover police officer and with the victim, who was a young boy, that he intended to do the same thing, and have some more sexual conduct with a younger boy. So I think that's about as much detail as it would be appropriate to say.
Is there any piece of evidence dismissed during the process?
No, the evidence is all intact. The evidence is all together. Nothing dismissed or left out.
Regarding the restitution and damages of the victim, how will it be reimbursed?
Well, restitution is always a part of the agreements that we make, or if there's a conviction after a jury trial, there's still restitution. So, what restitution is, the defendant is required to pay to the victim, not directly to the victim, but to pay so that the victim can have the money, whatever it costs the victim, like out-of-pocket expenses, like medical costs, or any costs for for counseling or anything that might have happened as a result of the crime. And so the defendant is required to pay restitution. Now, as far as damages, like of general damages, something beyond that, pain and suffering or mental anguish and things like that, that we don't do that. We are restricted to out-of-pocket expenses. But a victim in one of these cases can always bring their own lawsuit against the defendant to get a judgment for those kind of damages, including punitive damages, like a larger amount to punish the defendant. That would be a civil case. It would be a separate case if the victim decided to bring it. I don't think that's going to happen here. I think that this victim wants to have a low profile. He doesn't want to be outed in public and that sort of thing.
And if he chooses to do so, they will be pursuing that with the civil lawyer, not with your office.
That's correct. That would be another attorney. It would be a private attorney, and our office would not be involved in it. But I don't expect that to happen here. I just think that this victim, I think, wants to be quiet. He just wants this whole thing to go away now. He's happy he's not having to testify in court.
What will be happening with the case right now? Is it totally closed, or what people expecting to the next future?
Well, the case is over except for sentencing, and that's continued until December 16th. And on that day, the judge will give the final sentence. But that's already determined. In other words, the judge, when he went through this agreement, agreed that the sentence would be 18 months. So on December 16th, the defendant will get the 18-month sentence, and that'll be, from our point of view, that'll be the end of it.
Thank you very much for coming here and answer all the questions. Before we end it here, can you talk to our audience who, even in here or in Vietnam or everywhere else,
Sure.
really concerned, really pay attention to this case?
Sure. I think that what I'd like the people to know, and the message that I would like them to have is that Orange County is a wonderful place to be. I want people to feel comfortable to come to Orange County as tourists or as business people or educators or for whatever the reason is to enjoy themselves and to enjoy our hospitality. But please, when you come to this county, respect our people and respect our laws. And we mean business. And if you come to Orange County and you start and you're or not just Orange County but California, I'm responsible for Orange County. But if you come here and you start committing crimes, we're going to prosecute, and we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that you get justice, not just it's not something where we call you out and then you get away. So that's why in this case, when this crime happened, we worked to make sure that Minh Béo stayed in Orange County, got the justice that he's required to get, accepts his punishment, and then afterwards he can go back. But welcome to Orange County, but please respect our laws and respect our people.
Thank you. Xin mời ông Ngô Kỵ cho một vài lời cuối trước khi chúng ta đóng lại chương trình, thưa ông.
Vâng, thưa quý vị, tại Hoa Kỳ này không ai sống trên luật pháp cả, above the law được. Vâng, thì mọi người đều chịu trách nhiệm các hành động mình phải trả giá, và ông diễn viên hài Minh Béo cũng không ngoại lệ. Tôi không phải nhà luật pháp, chính vì vậy mà tôi đã đưa ông Chánh Biện Lý Tony Rackauckas đi thưa chuyện cùng đồng bào trong nước và mọi nơi, tại vì ông ta là người có thẩm quyền cao cấp nhất để nói về cái case này. Vâng, thì tôi không phải nhà đạo đức học, do đó tôi không có tư cách đi ném đá ai cả. Cái điều tôi muốn nói đây là một cái tin buồn như vậy tôi cũng xót xa, đặc biệt là người Việt Nam với nhau. Tuy nhiên cái chuyện gì đến phải đến, và tôi chỉ cầu mong là diễn viên hài Minh Béo được mạnh khỏe và cố chu toàn những bổn phận mà cần phải làm và trong nhà tù, và ông được bình an để rồi sớm được ra khỏi nhà tù và có cơ hội trở về với gia đình, với những khán thính giả yêu mến của ông và thần hữu của ông. Đó là lời của tôi, thưa ông.
Xin cảm ơn ông. Thank you very much again, and I hope to see you again when there are more questions coming up regarding
Absolutely.
this case and other cases. Thank you.
Consider me available for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Tony.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you.